Hi, everyone. Hi, thanks for being here. I know that I was scheduled to start at 8, but just going through everything today and being, prepared and trying to get prepped, I realized that we have a lot to go over, and I want to get all this taken care of before my fiance gets home so that I can kind of do time management that way and hang out with him when he gets home. So I started a little bit early. And like I said, there's just a lot to kind of process together. And I'm just happy that you're all here right now. So thanks for being here early with me. And I figure, since I'm starting early, I will wait a minute for people to join in. So hello, Sky. Hi, Kelly, Jonesy, Rebecca. I really appreciate everyone being here. Scottish Queen, thanks so much for your support. So pretty much, there's just some things I want to discuss, some updates in some of the cases, and then just some stuff I want to kind of give my own opinion on and bounce ideas off with you guys in chat. Hi, Derek, Tammy, Pam. Hello, everyone. Broken Dishes. Hello. And I saw the Pink Dahlia was here. If I don't say hi to you in chat, I'm just kind of trying to stay organized and not really paying attention 100%. So I just wanted to say, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. If you haven't thumbs this live stream up yet, take a moment and just thumbs it up while we wait for more people to show up. I also wanted to take a minute to plug Alex Erickson's channel. She is linked in my description box, I think all the way at the bottom with CDT. And I am actually wearing a homemade tie-dye sweatshirt that she has made. And she is taking orders by request for everybody. So if you are interested in a handmade tie-dye t-shirt or sweatshirt or whatever, Alex has her own assembly line going right now, and she's taking requests and orders. So I highly recommend. It's actually really warm, and I think tie-dye is so cool. It's unique to every single time she does it. It's like a form of art. So give me 1 second, guys. Just going to get organized real quick, and I'll share my screen. While I'm getting organized and sharing the screen, I'm curious, let's actually, who in chat watches Kardashians? Put a 1 in chat if you watch the Kardashians. Put a 2 if you do not. I have not watched them for years. Obviously, it was something that kind of, caught my attention, when I was younger. And then for me personally, I've outgrown it. But I know that they have a huge fan base. And we will be discussing the Travis Scott tragedy, the Astroworld. So I'm just curious. I'm kind of gauging where everyone is as far as the Kardashians. And if you do support the Kardashians and watch them, please stop. I find it very odd that the Kardashian family, I mean, first they were linked to what, OJ? The father was a lawyer on the OJ team, so it's just interesting when you think about, like, do they just hang out with these like bad people? Now Travis Scott near them. It's just very weird. It's like, why are they attracting these types of people? Give me 1 second. And while I'm getting organized, let's also take a minute and kind of have a moment of silence for the people who passed away in that Astroworld incident. It's just horrific. And, I remember going to a Dave Matthew concert. I mean, he's really big where I am, upstate New York. And this was like '06, '07. So this was quite a while ago. And I can remember leaving the concert then and getting anxious, just, everyone kind of together. But from the footage that I've seen and what I'll share with you guys, it's just, I cannot imagine. And again, I am kind of waiting for people to kind of show up. I'm starting like a little bit early, so people might not even be coming in until 8 o'clock when they thought this started, but I'm just going to start. I have put together some clips here. So, as many of you know, last week, well, I'm not sure if anyone knows this, but Molly Golightly, for some reason, had Don Wells on her live stream last week. Did anybody see that? Oh, really? You are, Tara? I haven't seen him in years. Oh, you know what? I saw him in 2018. So yeah, I guess it hasn't been that long, but yeah, I've seen him multiple times. Dave Matthews is awesome. I've been to so many concerts. I like so much music. Um, I liked a few of Travis Scott's songs. Now I've lost all respect for him. And I never really was like a huge fan. I just kind of like listened to him with some guy I used to hang out with who I don't hang out with anymore. So it's actually great that this happened because now I have no reason to turn on that artist and all that. So anyways, so Molly Golightly had Don Wells on. And there was, a few occasions that were just jaw dropping during that little interview or sit down or whatever you want to call it. At one point, Don is asked Summer's birthday, and he could not remember or he did not know. He asked Candace, who was there at the time, and she could not answer. It was just a lot of weird stuff going on. There were two in particular clips that I have to share with you guys, and I was just kind of dumbfounded. Like I'll kind of talk through it because once I hear it, I'll remember what I want to say. But I just don't know, guys. In my heart and mind, now let's remember, Summer Wells has been missing since June 15th this year. She was last seen wearing gray shorts or pants, possibly barefoot. She had a pink top on. She had short hair. She's got blue eyes. And yeah, we have no information. TBI has given us nothing. They actually have said that they're still looking for that maroon truck. So let's just listen to this, guys. Let me know if you can hear it in chat too as soon as it starts. Yeah, Melissa, I agree. How did they
And the boys didn't see anything either?
Can you guys
No, we're not allowed to talk to the boys about that.
Why?
Isn't that fucking crazy?
That
Have you
is
ever
crazy.
heard any bullshit like this in your entire fucking life?
Again, I'm really sorry for the language. Hold on. Turn my air purifier off. Okay, so I'm sorry about the language. Don is intoxicated once again on YouTube. Once again, we've all seen this, and I debated on even sharing this because it's just upsetting, but the things he says.
I'm not allowed to talk to my fucking boys about my daughter that's been. What the fuck kind of shit's that?
That's crazy. Why not?
I've never even. Right? How do you process it? How do you deal with it? I had to sneak the other day when I was with Josie.
Okay, so the first time I heard this, I turned it down a little bit, Pink Dahlia. Is it still, you can still hear it? So anyways, I first was watching this and I was like, what is he talking about? So he obviously is talking about visiting with the boys, and he says right here he had to sneak one of them away to have a private conversation. And in my mind, I'm thinking, why does he have to sneak him away? You know what I mean? Like, what does Don need to convey to his son so badly that he's going to break the rules and brainwash them? Yes, Tara, exactly. He wants to brainwash them. The thing about it is, the children are a vital key in this puzzle that we have to piece together. The children are a vital key to that day. The children are a vital key to that gap of space where we don't have the timeline accurately. You know, there's time that's not being accounted for. So the fact that Don is admitting, I mean, drunkenly, like an idiot, that he has had to try to sneak one of them away to talk to him is disturbing to me, because what is being coached to these kids? Are they being, and of course, this is just hypothetical. This is my opinion. This is conspiracy, whatever you want to call it. Is he keeping them, trying to get them alone and quiet so that he can, make sure that they say this or say that, or don't say this and don't say that? To me, that just was like a red flag. Yeah, I don't know what he was trying to talk to his son about, but I'm troubled.
I had to sneak and talk to him. Like, I had to sneak and talk to him about his sister. I can't believe this shit. I can't even talk to my sons about their fucking own sister.
And he says that he has to, talk to him about Summer. And it's like, okay, so is he referring to just talking about processing what happened? He's not really specific about what he had to say. But in my mind, I'm worried. The term sneak and this and that, it just, to me, it seems more sinister. It seems more possibly criminal type. And again, he's drunk. Is he being honest about things because he's drunk? So he's saying he had to sneak away with them, So what is this conversation really about? What did he so badly have to sneak him away and talk to him about? Is it about just his sister? I don't know. And when I say just about his sister, I mean, are they just kind of talking together, coping together about what's going on? So he wants to talk to his kids, possibly. But in my opinion, I think the children know more. And I think that Don has tried to steer them in the direction that best suits Don and Candace.
What the fuck?
Are they in therapy now?
No, I'm not allowed to talk. According to welfare and the courts and everything, I'm not allowed to talk to my boys about their missing sister. Like, what the fuck? Like, she's a ghost? What the fuck is this?
Now, again, yes, Derek, I agree. Drunk people say what sober people think. Exactly. That is kind of my thoughts on all this. Now, if we're going to go along with those same thoughts, Derek, drunk people say what sober people think. Did you hear what he just ended that whole thing is with? What do we talk about her like she's a ghost or something in reference of her being a ghost? And I know that he's trying to say they don't let the CPS or whatever, welfare, doesn't want them talking to the boys about Summer, right? But the term and just the name of comparing her to a ghost, like, I understand he's trying to say, like, are we supposed to just pretend she never existed? Are we supposed to just move on with our lives like we never had this daughter and sister? But for some reason, Don, in his drunken state, uses the word ghost.
what the fuck is this?
Sorry, I didn't mean to stop it right there.
Like, what the fuck? Not allowed to talk according to welfare and the courts and everything. I'm not allowed to talk to my boys about their missing sister. Like, what the fuck? Like, she's a ghost? What the fuck is this?
Yeah, so that Sky, like she's a ghost. When I was editing this, I didn't even catch that. Like when I screenshotted this, I of course caught him saying, I just thought it was weird talking about the boys. And then I caught him saying that he wanted to, or he had to sneak away and talk to them about Summer. And then as I was editing it, I just got this chill up my back when he was like she's a ghost. And I was just thinking, why would, like when you refer to someone as being a ghost, it's obviously tied to death, cross to the other side, different realm. So to use that phrase, it was just so troubling to me. Does anyone else in chat think that that was a weird thing to say? Like, I know he's trying to say that welfare and CPS has told him through the gag order in the courts not to speak to the boys about Summer. But, you know, he's drunk. He's saying things he shouldn't be saying. And then he refers to Summer as a ghost in that manner. It was just so eerie and creepy to me. Am I the only one? Yes, weird. Thanks, Broken Dishes. Yeah, Jill, it does come across creepy. I mean, could he have meant it in a different way? Yeah, but it's just sometimes words matter. And when you're drunk, like Derek said, sometimes people's drunk in state and things that they say is actually what they're thinking, you know, regularly sober. So we're just going to move on to the next clip of Don. And again, everyone, he's going to be on Dr. Phil this week with Candace, I believe tomorrow or Thursday or Friday. I could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure. Yes, Truth Seeker said, I think he's just setting up another scenario of poor Don. Now he can't talk to his sons about their daughter, to his family. Yeah, it's manipulative. I agree. I think that he is doing this whole poor Don, but I think that some of the words that are slipping out during this interview is just very telling, and you might not even catch it, or you might not even think much of it. And it's definitely manipulative. I agree.
Tennessee has a lot. Tennessee and Ohio and Iowa actually have a lot.
They're talking about missing.
And the reason I think that is because this is easy pickings. In other words, yeah, you can come here from out of some big city or whatever, high crime rate, but you can come out here and pick up kids. I seen a little girl the other day, about 2 months ago. She's about 5 years old, just standing on the street. I drove by her. I was just shaking my head like, what the freak, you know? And it was just driving me crazy. So when I come back out on the dead end, she was still standing there. I'm like, oh, hell no. So I pull in the driveway. I asked that little girl, I said, where is your parents? She says, Papa's in the house, blah, 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 or whatever. So I go and I knock on the door, and he's like, what?
So I'm just gonna, I need to pause it just so that we can grasp what's going on. Don is telling a story that happened a few months ago, okay? He's claiming that once he saw this girl who's around Summer's age outside, he decided to go and knock on the door to make sure that she's being supervised, you know? So can we just imagine that? Very bizarre, okay? And just watch Molly Golightly's expressions. I mean, they just say it all. But regardless, so he's at this point seen a child outside, a little girl, and he's taken it on himself to knock on their door and make sure that they know that their daughter or little girl is outside.
Look, I don't know what he's saying. I knock on the door again, and I just hear some mumbling. So I just opened the door, and I said, you know, this little girl's out here on a freaking road, standing out here, 5-year-old little girl. And he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I couldn't understand what he's saying. I'm like, man, whatever. And I slammed the door and I went and got my truck. And I told her, I waved at the little girl. I said, see you later, you know.
Why is he wait at this point? See you later to the little girl? What? Like, this is bizarre. This is very bizarre. I did not know what to make of it. And then, you know, as he proceeds, I've got some more information on this incident.
I got my truck and I left. So next thing I freaking hear is this fucking little girl's mother fucking gets on fucking YouTube or Facebook or whatever, says I tried to coerce that little girl into my truck. That's the thanks I get for trying to make sure that little girl was safe. The fucking little girl's fucking bitch mother fucking spread the word that I was trying to coerce that little girl into my truck or some bullshit. That's
right. So pause that right there for a second. First off, thank you, Brooks, for the super chat. It's greatly appreciated. And I want to thank everybody for supporting the channel any way you can. Super chats, I've got the PayPal link. Liking and subscribing alone to me means the world to me. So it keeps the channel going. So thank you so much. And hello, CDT, welcome. So at this point, actually, now that CDT's here, I didn't include it in the video, but we have actually found a Facebook post. I had shared this with Alex and CDT in our chat, and I said, isn't this, you know, disturbing? You know, obviously we bounce ideas off each other. And CDT said, I think I actually have seen that post of this mother who's complaining about Don, right? So it was in a Summer Wells group, Facebook group, and leave it to CDT to have the screenshot. But I can read it. I didn't include it in the video, but I can read it. And it's a post on Facebook, and it says, just going to throw this out there. People in Grassy Creek, Beach Creek area, be aware of your surroundings at all times. Donald Wells is going around meeting his quote unquote neighbors, trying to talk to kids, especially little girls. I know this to be a fact because he did it to Riley while she was at her pawpaws. He was telling her how Summer was taken and they can't find her. Thank God someone was there to prevent what could have happened. Do not let your kids out alone. I'm saying he is guilty of his daughter being missing, and also not saying he is innocent. I don't know, but I will say he isn't neighbors with Riley's pawpaw. So why he was out there and stopped for no reason really makes you wonder. This has been reported to the cops. He also has been seen in light, and then we didn't have the rest of the post. But so now we can conclude that Don, even though he's drunk in this statement, he in fact did do what he's saying, because we discovered, Kelly has discovered, that this post actually was going around Facebook months ago. So that is unsettling as well, you know, and he's going around telling this little girl that someone took Summer. You know, why is he even in that area? According to this woman, he's not even a neighbor.
the thanks I get.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what fucking bullshit. I'm so, oh my gosh.
Let me
I
ask
almost
you,
went back up there.
let me
Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie made a beeline to that dry bag.
Brian Laundrie's dad.
I was just going to say, switching gears real quick. This was just a clip that was just floating around Facebook, or I don't even know where I see half these things, but it's just pretty much going to highlight the suspiciousness of Brian Laundrie's parents discovering the items that they discovered. As far as the anthropologist updates, I've researched today that we won't hear anything until probably the end of November. So, I mean, we're almost there. I would say in 2 weeks, we might have some sort of conclusion as far as from the anthropologists. Obviously, our worst fear would be that it comes back inconclusive, but at the same time, it is what it is. If it's him, then it's him. And to me, that's, enough clarification. Hi, Paul. Thanks for being here. But, obviously I would like to know how he passed. I feel in my mind he offed himself. So yeah, that's the update on Brian's situation. End of November is the most current time that we'll see. And then I'll go through an article after this video that'll talk about FBI investigating Brian Laundrie's cell phone and other forms of technological forensics.
Knew exactly where that was. It's so odd that where he made that 90-degree turn, he walked directly into where the remains and where the bag was.
His parent had to have known where he was at. This is not a path that normal people would take.
The parents suddenly find the body within 30 minutes of coming out, going directly to this trail. Many trails before here that you could go off of, but they know coincidentally where to go. It's odd.
Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie made a beeline to that dry bag.
All right, so let me just switch. We're going to get into the Travis Scott, which is on the screen right now, but I do have an article to share about Gabbypetito, Brian Laundrie. So give me a second to share the screen. And yeah, somebody in chat asked if at the end of November we will hear, back about the DNA. And yeah, I'm assuming by then they'll have a clear indication. Okay, so obviously I know this is Perez Hilton, but he's good at getting the juice and gossip on celebrities. So I went through this article to verify that it was actually correct information. And apparently he has a true crime section, and it is in fact good information. So I figured, why not? Might as well share it. So it says FBI investigating Brian Laundrie's emails and texts, but is it the right phone? Which is, a good question, because who would really want that phone that was bought in August? Or I mean, in September, my apologies. September. I mean, perhaps iCloud or wherever stuff was saved got transferred to that phone, but is that going to be the phone and the data that we want to see, So it says after Brian Laundrie's remains were discovered, there was a very real concern we would never get answers about the murder of Gabbypetito. One of the only avenues of hope is the notebook the fugitive had with him that maybe he had written down his own account of events, anything he knew. Unfortunately, when his father, Christopher Laundrie, found the fugitive's dry bag, the book happened to be outside of it, possibly ruined by the water. Don't get us started on how suspicious and infuriating it is that a family member was allowed to handle the evidence like that. It remains to be seen whether the soaked pages will be salvageable. See, that's what I keep wondering too. They keep saying that they had hoped that it would be salvageable. Wouldn't they know? Like, can't you just look at a piece of paper and know, like, if you can read it or not? Like, it's just, why can't they just give us a clear answer even on that? Like, I know that they have to bring it to some specialist that deals with document recovery or whatever. But sometimes I'm just like, can't they know because you can't just make things appear on a page, no matter what skill you have, if it's not there. But anyways, but it turns out there is possibility for answers from Brian himself. And it says FBI is currently combing through the late 23-year-old's digital footprint, his internet browsing history, social media activity, emails, phone calls, text messages, everything according to News Nation reporter Brian Enton, who has been covering the case up close from Northport, Florida. Laundrie's Instagram page was recently taken down, which, by the way, if you go to, after this stream, if you go to my page, I have on, now it's in video form on my channel, his Instagram. It's in 2 videos. So it's not every single post, but it is majority, in case you wanted to go through and snoop. Okay. Because I think looking at people's social media is very vital, and I wish we had Chris Watts's Facebook, but he disabled it before he even went to prison. Okay, so they're combing through his stuff. So it says that they assumed that it was the family's doing, but perhaps it was the FBI who took down his Instagram. Obviously, this is speculation. Per the Independent, Enton says once the case is closed, the public will learn much of what they find. And that, you know, I hate to get excited, but at the same time, for true crime junkies and, you know, for people like CDT and myself, like, we want everything, text messages with friends even, you know, I mean, that's what they did for the Watts case. And I'll always go through the Watts information, and I remember things and I'm like, oh, wow, I forgot, you know, she said that, or I forgot that this took place. And when you see it in text message form or email, it's a firsthand account of this person in the case. So it's very interesting to me. And I know everyone's going to want to see everything we can. Thank you, Derek. Thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it. He said, we want answers from the police department that couldn't tell the difference between him and his mom. Yeah, it's, how do they, I think that they're really just going to try and carry on and act like that didn't happen. Like, they need to be held accountable or shamed, publicly shamed. I mean, do we have to do a live stream like about them all the time, like we did about the Watts case, CDT? Like, you know, the district attorney in the Watts case, you know, it's just, you thought it couldn't get worse dealing with the district attorney in the Watts case. Then the Gabbypetito case occurs and those policemen fumble. I just can't. All right, so back to what the FBI is looking at. I think the FBI knows a lot of those questions and they will be resolved. If they close the case, those documents will be available through public record searches. And I know that myself and CDT, Alex Erickson, we've already put through a Freedom of Information Act for Brian Laundrie, because, you know, if he's dead, then his warrant, you know, everything that he was wanted for, that's a closed case, you would think. So we'll see what we get. I haven't gotten an email back, but we'll see. So he believes even if the feds can't definitively say what happened, they may still release any findings that connect Laundrie to the crime, just to communicate to the public that this is well and truly over. He explains, I think that would calm the public down and give the Petitos some kind of closure. If they don't want to do that, there's technically a chance there's still a murderer out there. Which, in my opinion, we know 100% that that's not. What? I thought, sorry, I thought I could exit out with that ad. Okay, so Laundrie's digital footprint is likely to answer some big questions. Yeah, you know, that'll prove, was the cell phone, that's the thing, is we got to get the phone that he had in Wyoming, and we need the phone that he bought in September. The iCloud aspect. I don't know what text messages and stuff get saved to your iCloud. I just don't know all those details, and if he even had an iPhone, because that's what I'm comfortable working with and familiar with, is Apple. Okay, so digital footprint likely to answer some big questions. There has been suspicions some of Gabby's final text messages weren't really sent by her. And of course, his cell phone data should allow authorities to track his movements more precisely. And side note, that would answer and end all suspicion of him being tied to Kylan and Crystal's case, which we just don't know. I mean, I guess he's like on a list of 19 suspects. But the cell phone data, side note, would answer that too, you know? Hopefully. So, if you recall, there was a report from TMZ that after Brian got home from his road trip with the van, but no Gabby, he went and purchased a new cell phone, not a replacement. Mind you, he started a whole new account. Oh, so then that's not going to transfer iCloud and all that if it's an Apple. Not that I know of. Okay, that was just before he disappeared. Bertolino confirmed the report and also claimed it was that phone that he had left in his parents' home. So, who cares about that phone? Like, really? I just don't know. Okay, a phone was purchased on September 14th, 2021, and Brian opened an account with AT&T for that phone. Brian left that phone at home the day he went for the hike in the preserve on September 14th, and the FBI now has that phone. This was before the Laundries changed their story and said that he left for his hike on September 13th, because that's the type of thing you forget. Obviously, Perez got some sarcasm in there and I love it. The fact that the FBI had the brand new phone and not the one he had his whole trip with Gabby has led many to speculate the new phone was a burner phone. Whether that would mean he had to destroy the other one or kept it a secret, we have no idea. So yeah, unfortunately, we could be back to square one on that. And that is a perfect but sad way to end that article because, yeah, if we don't have the phone we want, what good is it really going to do? Like, honestly, let me just look at chat before I jump to the Astroworld disaster and tragedy. Okay. Oh, thanks for being here, Tammy. So yeah, the cell phone, that's going to be vital. And I mean, yeah, we could get emails, but honestly, I don't ever really use my email. I doubt that would help, but at the same time, I mean, we need those pings. We need the GPS. We need to know where Brian was because obviously if something took place, the phone was there. I mean, you can't really erase unless his phone had no battery. That's the only, or on airplane mode. I think that prevents GPS location. I'm not 100% on that. Hi, little miss. Thanks for being here. Thank you for agreeing, CDT. And I know you're listening while you're doing bedtime, but if you want the link, you're welcome to join me. We are moving on to, hi, Rosie. Hi, superhero. The next case, which is going to be the Astroworld mishap, tragedy. I mean, honestly, somebody was throwing around the word involuntary murder, that Travis, and that's why this has crossed into true crime, and it's not just celebrity gossip, this and that. Like, once I had heard the number of people who were injured and killed, I mean, this needs to be treated, with due process, fairly, and the images speak for themselves, unfortunately, for the venue holders and Travis Scott, in my opinion, and Drake. Let's not forget, he's not innocent in this. And apparently he's been added to the lawsuits as well. So there are a few lawsuits, more than a few I've heard now. I've heard from the lawyer, he has some interview out, and the lawyer said he's representing multiple people that were there. Some are that he is representing are deceased. most of them that he's representing are minor, not even just minors, but yeah, some of them were minors. It's just, like I said, I get anxiety and I like to know where the exit is if I go to a concert or, I mean, even when I went to the Phantom of the Opera in a theater, like I like to know the exits, etc. And to me, this is not fun. All right. Another reason why this has kind of struck me, as far as like the true crime essence of it, essence, it's horrible. I mean, that's why it's true crime, because it's literally a crime what happened there. People said that they had metal from the barricades digging into their skin from being pushed. I mean, it's just horrific. Let's not forget also, which is why this is true crime. Travis has a record. He has a criminal record, disorderly conduct. I want to say possibly inciting a crowd or something, but disorderly conduct for sure. From 2015 up until this date today, well, 2020 got skipped because of the pandemic, but from 2015 on in his career, he's been arrested. He has been sued as well before this incident. Yeah. And then he was sued by somebody who said something took place at one of his shows. I'm not going to pretend to know I know all the details, but I believe it ended in a paralysis, and it had to do with Travis inciting something that led up to that. So this is an old post. I mean, May 5th this year. And again, sorry for the language. If there is bad language, yes, I see it. Okay. This is his Instagram, promoting it. F word, craziness, but F word. That I'm putting a plan together now to get some more of the wild ones in, because this is like a promo for Astroworld. Hold on, let me let it roll up. Even if I gotta sneak them in on me, seen some people who want to make it but having a hard time or might not have the means, don't worry, I'm on it. Like, what do you mean you're on it? So it's almost like he's saying, like he did at other shows, bombard the stage, rush security, break through the barriers. I want you up on stage with me, blah, 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 blah. Like, these are things that he's done in the past. And I mean, obviously it's inciting the crowd. Travis Scott promises to pay back the funeral costs for those killed at Astroworld. Of course, that should go without saying. He'll also be offering mental health services to all impacted by the deadly chaos. That's a thing that's so disturbing about Kardashians and just that type of fame, is they think that they can just make things go away. Like, they're treating this incident, which is death, which is involuntary, manslaughter for some people believe. They're treating it as if it was something that they did, like, rude. They were rude or something and they were caught on camera. This isn't something that they can just put a statement out and say, offer counseling, the money aspect of it. They think that they can just make it go away. Unbelievable. Yeah, there's just a clip from a lawyer who's been talking on TikTok, his opinion about it, obviously a legal opinion and aspect of it. And I'll play his clip as well. And then Amanda Vita uploaded another TikToker that I wanted to play that video. But pretty much, yeah, apparently the police department has come out and said that they expressed concerns to Travis about security and stuff like that before the show even started. In my opinion, what good did that conversation do? The other thing is, if you're inciting a crowd to bombard and rush and rage, which he did use the word rage, it doesn't really matter if they had more security. Like, I know people have been saying they didn't have enough security, blah, 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 which they didn't. That's correct. But at the same time, what is more security going to do when there's uncontrollable crowd? I mean, at a concert, you can't have as many security guards as concert goers. There's obviously not enough room. So, what were more security people going to do? They're not robots. They're not superhumans. They're regular people. Like, yes, they're bigger. That's why there's security. But in my opinion, I don't think security, even more of it, would have really changed the situation. I heard a medic was saying, he asked somebody around, some girl passed out, how long she'd been like that, and they and this is a concert goer, Travis Scott's fan base kind of shrugged it off and was like, she's been there a while. Like, what is going on? It seems as though not only is Travis Scott trash, but I hate to say it, but the ones that were there that weren't there because of Fortnite, the kids and stuff. But if people were saying to the medic, I don't know, she's been there a while, like, who are these types of people that are going to the concert? Doesn't sound like a very good group of people. This type of message, that apparently in all his music is about raging and blah, 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 that has a lot to do with the negative energy and obviously the type of people that like his music. They're the type of people who aren't going to help. And not everybody there was like that, but it only takes a few people to be like that in a situation. And I mean, she maybe could have been helped sooner. So, like I said, Drake is also being sued in the lawsuits. And I don't think that he's innocent. The fact that he went out on stage, they said that the concert kept going for 38 minutes. That's almost 40 minutes. And that part of that time was when Drake went out there. So you're saying Drake was backstage or wherever he was and he didn't hear what was going on? Like, when also, I want to know, when did they escort Kylie out? When was it to the point where they were going to get the Richie people out and safe? That to me is going to be vital as well, because if it was acknowledged enough for them to get the rich people out and Kylie, why wasn't the same urgency for everyone else? And another point that was made, which I thought was a good point, is if Travis Scott chose to halt the concert, it would have caused more chaos and riot. And to me, I think that that's possible, but at the same time, it's theoretical because that's not what took place. So how do we know for sure? You know what I mean? It's theoretical. We don't know if that would have caused more chaos. Even if he had just stopped it and said, let's give everyone some space or let's take a minute, like, they have power up there as artists. People have also tried to defend him and said he stopped it at one point and wanted somebody or acknowledged someone getting carried out because she passed out or something. And I'd seen that clip and he does, but at the same time, I think he also used the word rage after. And at that point, if he could stop the show enough to acknowledge it, why didn't he also take that moment to say, guys, I appreciate you all going hard for me, but, blah, 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 blah. That's not what took place. Words matter. Valerie, I had not heard that. Valerie said people were dancing on the ambulance. What? Girl, I had not heard that. That is despicable. Yeah, I did see that, Rosie, that her clip, and she deleted it. Why'd you delete it? Why did you delete it, Kylie? That clip. I just cannot imagine. So this, obviously, everyone's kind of been talking about the Satanism theories. I just put this in here because it made Vice News to me is solid news source. I like them a lot. So Vice News is mainstream news is kind of throwing the ritual out there, and they're pretty much saying a lot of people believe it. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm really leaning towards that. I mean, I believe in Illuminati and all that. So secret societies are a real thing. Yeah, Vicky wants to know, has Kylie made a public statement? She made a statement on Instagram, and so did Kim. And it was just dry AF and not, I mean, it's just probably their PR team. It was like typed out. It wasn't a video. Valerie, I need to see a video of that. All right, so I think I've said everything I want to say about Travis Scott for now. Moving right along. As many of you know, Cleo Smith, that little Australian girl that was missing, taken out of the tent, she has been returned, but obviously there's the investigation going on right now. And let me just pull up the latest. We have more information about him. And this was seen on, I can't remember the girl's channel. Grizzly Brook Books, I think. Anyways, he was pretty much discarded from his mother. The guy who abducted Cleo. Hold on, let me share my screen. I'm going off the cuff with just the latest article, which was out an hour ago. Cleo Smith found, so yeah, he was just discarded by his mother and not wanted, and raised by the woman whose house Cleo was found in. She had passed away. He was raised by her. I'm not sure if she adopted him or if he was just like a foster child, but at 2 years old, yeah, he was taken in by her. So yeah, that's interesting. Just another type of criminal who was, given up and not cared for by the mother, much like Charles Manson, Jeffrey Dahmer. Those are just a few, but it's interesting, the correlation. So long way to go in the abduction investigation, police are saying. The other thing was he was moved to a high max security prison. Apparently, at one point, he was put in a cell with padded walls because he was banging his head on the regular walls. What else? He had made a threat to the media saying that something about like he was like watching them or something. I can't remember the exact words, but yeah, he just seems a little unhinged. We don't know the type of interactions or if there was any abuse going on while he was in the care. She was in the care of him. We do know that there is a bit of confusion, or not confusion, but they're investigating whether or not an accomplice was involved as well. Give me 1 second. I have to text fiance, hungry, before he gets home. Okay. So, Deputy Police Commissioner Blanche was not ruled out further charges. Okay, so he's being charged for, that's the other thing we know right now is we only know that he's being charged for abducting Cleo. We don't know other charges just yet. I guess he stalked the mom on Facebook. Am I understanding that correctly too? Yeah, and it's just saying other charges might come, but it's part of the investigation. That's not something that he's been briefed on at the moment, but I would never say never because there's a long way to go about piecing together what happened. Pardon me. He said it was important not to speculate, but to let justice take its course. You know, we are happy that he's locked away right now. Hopefully he hasn't done this to other children either, but I guess that's part of the investigation also. So the little girl was saying that some woman was taking care of her as well and brushing her hair. So that's what I meant by there might be some sort of confusion or maybe an accomplice because the little girl has expressed that during briefings with police and, investigation type interviews with Cleo and possibly child psychologist, that she thought she was, you know, being cared for by a woman as well. So, he's an interesting character. Was he dressed up? Possibly. I don't know. Um, yeah, they took DNA stuff from the house too. There were pictures of stuff going in and out. Obviously the family's happy they're back together. But yeah, that was pretty much the update, just about him being an orphan type situation, not wanted by the mother. And the fact that they're looking into a possible accomplice, but in my opinion, I think that judging by what we know from, his looks and the pictures and, I don't know. I've never seen anything like it before. It's disturbing at the same time. Did he have a beard, Pink Dahlia, when he got arrested? I didn't know. Yeah, I just Vicky said, are you allowed to have Bratz dolls in prison? Sorry, I'm really curious. I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah, CDT. I want to know that too. Oh my gosh, I want to see inside there, like more than just what we've seen from the doll room. She said, I want to know if they found women's clothing in the house. I'm just looking through chat, guys. And then we will be hopping on to, we're ready to do the Scott Peterson. And everyone knows, well, I don't know if everybody knows. Apparently he's going back to court December. I could pretty much read this article or I could play these clips, and the clips kind of say the same thing as the articles. So I'm just going to play the clips because they're very informative. I'm back. Can you hear me? Yes, CDT. She said the woman who raised him, the one that took him in when he was 2, the woman who raised him used to live in that home with him. So maybe some of her stuff was still there. Yeah. Hi, Alex. You're good. You're completely fine. She said, hey guys, sorry I'm late. No biggie. Yeah, CDT. Was he wearing her clothes? Did she know about the Bratz dolls before she passed? So many questions. Okay. Oh, yeah, I hit leave studio instead of share. Wow. And guys, I am all over the place with live streams. I know those who follow me are probably like, I never catch you live because I just go when it's convenient, like with the baby, and she's changing so much. Like our schedules kind of change. She went from 2 naps to, 1 nap. And it's easy. Long story short, it's easy for me to just go live now at night when she's asleep because she's crawling everywhere and she's everywhere. So, Scott Peterson will break his silence at sentencing hearing. Guys, this is big. And as far as being a flip-flopper, I have gone from thinking Scott was 100% guilty to being undecided. And I currently have gone through this case with CDT, and you can check out our videos on it on both of our channels. We've combed through it all the way up to the day that they search the house and we've gone through the case. And I just cannot decide. Some days I take a break from the case and then I'll come back. I'll not even think about the case for the longest time, and then I'll just be like driving and I'm like, why were all of Lacey's organs missing when she came up on shore? It's just like these things in the case. Why were her limbs missing? Why was her head missing? Where are the anchors that tied them down? Where is it just doesn't make any sense to me, guys. I'm sorry. There's so many unanswered questions with the Scott Peterson case, and it was just a complete media madness when it was going on. And I was only like 16, I think. I was young, but it was obviously on. My mom watched Nancy Grace. Thank you, Broken Dishes. Thank you so much for the super chat. We love you, Amber. Post and do lives when you can. We understand. Thank you so much. I was doing the morning ones because I thought it was working, and it was working, but then 2 weeks later, not the same. So thank you for understanding, everyone. So pretty much I'm still undecided. The media chaos and circus around the case didn't help, in my opinion, him to get a fair trial. But then we have to add in the juror misconduct aspect of it, the no DNA, the no physical evidence. We don't have cadaver scent picked up in the house or at the warehouse where the boat is. We don't have it in the truck. So guys, there's just, to me, in my opinion, just a lot of unknowns in that case. And I know that some people are very set on where they stand in it, and that's fine. But I've also noticed in studying Scott Peterson case that people who think that he's guilty will also agree that he didn't get a fair trial. So that to me is even more interesting, because people who are so set on him being guilty have no problem admitting, like, yeah, it really wasn't fair. That juror was a dirty juror, pretty much. So anyways, let me play this and it'll speak for itself.
Will speak Peterson's defense at the San Mateo County Courthouse on Wednesday. Scott Peterson's defense attorney revealed to reporters that Scott Peterson will break his silence. Mr. Peterson will speak when he is resentenced here at this courthouse on December.
Statement, yes. I don't know that there'll be any witnesses on his behalf, or we'll have anything other than just perhaps he makes a short statement and maybe I make a short statement.
Peterson's resentencing is happening because the state Supreme Court overturned his death sentence last year. Now he'll be sentenced to life in prison without possibility of parole. When Peterson is speaking, he will be face-to-face with Lacey's family. The Stanislaus County District Attorney said as many as 12 of Lacey's family members will be present in the courtroom, and some of them will make victim impact statements. The court clerk said the media may be allowed to bring cameras into the courtroom for what will undoubtedly be a very tense and emotional hearing.
You always know at a sentencing hearing, they're very emotional. You have victims who want to be heard. And one of the frustrating things about being a victim is you aren't heard throughout the whole process until the very end. This will be the second time. So there's obviously been one sentencing where the family member spoke.
The first time Peterson was sentenced back in 2005, Lacey's parents and brother had scathing words to say. Lacey's mom said, "You're going to burn in hell for this." Peterson was sitting stoically in silence. His only reaction then was to shake his head no, as Lacey's mother accused him of plotting to murder his wife for weeks. Lacey's brother said he had bought a gun and intended to kill Peterson himself, but decided he would rather watch him sweat it out and not take the easy way out. Peterson's new sentence has nothing to do with his ongoing battle for a retrial. He's trying to get his entire conviction overturned based on juror misconduct. One juror, Rochelle Neese, is accused of lying to be selected for the jury. I'm Amy Larson reporting for Cron 4 News in Redwood City.
Working for Dot Foods in our warehouse is the best job I've ever had.
Probably you hear this a lot. Work-life balance. We get that at Dot.
Where is that coming from?
That face.
Okay. So I thought that was very interesting, guys. Scott is going to be speaking for the first time in 17 years. So, yes, Rosie, Lacey had a beautiful smile. I just want to know what happened to her. Like, I just feel like I don't know. I feel like the things that the prosecution had laid out actually didn't answer certain things, like the times and stuff like that didn't make sense. And the usage of the computer, it doesn't match up with what the prosecution was saying. Just things didn't add up. So actually that brings us to this other video, which I thought was good as well after this ad.
Legal experts say Scott Peterson has a strong case for getting a whole new murder trial. In December, Scott Peterson will be resentenced to life in prison without possibility of parole. But that does not mean his fight for a retrial is over. His death sentence was overturned on entirely separate legal grounds from the grounds he's using to try to get his conviction overturned.
I think there's a great likelihood that he's going to get a new trial.
Nearly 2 decades ago, a San Mateo County jury found Peterson guilty of murdering his pregnant wife, Lacey, and the couple's unborn son, Connor. Peterson was sentenced to death. Last year, the state Supreme Court overturned Peterson's death sentence because the trial judge made a blunder. His fight for a retrial is based on juror misconduct because of one allegedly biased juror who was known during the trial as Strawberry Shortcake. Rochelle Neese is accused of being a so-called stealth juror who wanted to get revenge for Lacey.
Miss Neese basically had similar experiences to Lacey Peterson, right? Miss Neese was a victim of domestic violence while pregnant. And so I think it's really difficult. If the standard is a substantial likelihood of bias, I think it's really difficult for someone who went through that experience to set that aside and to sit as a juror in a case where you're dealing with another woman who may have been killed, murdered at the hands of her husband while pregnant. It's basically a mistrial. If there's juror misconduct, it's a mistrial. The conviction is thrown out and he's retried.
The decision for whether Peterson gets a new trial will be made by Judge Ann Christine Mazzullo. The judge will base her ruling on an evidentiary hearing that could take place as early as next month. Strawberry Shortcake will be the main witness for the hearing, and she plans to plead the fifth. If she remains silent, that will further help Peterson's case. I'm Amy Larson reporting for Cron 4 News in Redwood City.
I thought that was interesting. The last part where he said pretty much, if she pleads the fifth, I mean, that really does help Scott even more. So very interesting. Did I go through everything, guys? I'm just reading chat real quick. Yeah, Alex, it seems as though he has a very good likelihood of receiving a new trial, and that will just, I mean, it shouldn't matter for those who think he's guilty, because if he's guilty, then it'll come back as so. In my opinion, the prosecution never proved it. So here we are. And then you have to add in the juror misconduct. I mean, that's just inexcusable. This is the United States of America. We have the justice system and due process for a reason. Everyone has the right to a fair trial. So yeah, if things aren't done right the first time, then you're allowed to do them again. So I don't know, guys. Oh, Rosie asked, any updates on the Love and Silva case? Yes. Let me read to you what I know. There was an update this week. Okay, so the case is accepted, and he will be deposed December 6th. Then they will depose the rest, I guess, then hoping this goes to trial. So, for those of you who don't know, Courtney Love is being sued by her ex-son-in-law, who used to be married to Frances Bean Cobain. They're now divorced. There was very bad, let's just say bad divorce. But no, a terrible incident took place, and pretty much there's a murder conspiracy lawsuit right now going against Courtney Love. Her ex-son-in-law is accusing her of setting up this elaborate plan, which, he was hanging out with his friend, and apparently they just heard people breaking in, and they bombarded them in the room, and his friend was told, get the hell out of here. And Silva's ex-son-in-law was left in the room with these people, and they pretty much kidnapped him. And then, but the friend that had left actually called the cops, and it's just so crazy. The cops get to the car where Silva's in there with the people who are abducting him. And before the cop gets there, they tell Silva, you're going to play along with whatever I say. And, because they threatened his daughter. He doesn't have a daughter with Frances Bean, but he has a daughter with a previous relationship. And they told the cops that they went to college with him and that it was just some prank gone wrong. It was a misunderstanding. And Silva obliged and played along. Then he went back to the house, and he was tortured, or, I guess his testes were squeezed or something. Guys, who has this? American Spy Fox has this whole incident on his channel, I believe. much better than how I'm explaining it. But pretty much just a very bad incident, very bad divorce. It had a lot to do, I believe, with the acoustic guitar that Silva won in the divorce. And it was the guitar that was used by Kurt during the Unplugged concert. And Silva claimed that it was a gift from Francis, and Courtney was pissed. And yeah. Yeah, open minds. It's crazy. Derek, thank you. Supporting Amber and Kelly for all their effort and passion they put into this thing we call true crime. We appreciate it. Go Steelers. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate all you guys. Yeah, KF said the Silva court documents are shocking on the Soaked in Bleach, the movie website. Even Francis does not come off looking so good. Yeah, I've seen. Yeah. Courtney threatened Kurt's mom when she questioned the suicide of Kurt. Yep. Yes. That is 100% true. Apparently, Kurt's mother was going to talk to Tom Grant about her feelings of Courtney and possibly her suspicions of Courtney. And then Tom Grant claims he witnessed them, Courtney and Kurt's mother, walk off privately. They had some conversation with each other. No one knows what that was, but I guess it was Courtney possibly threatening Kurt's mom. She'll cut her off or won't let her see Francis. I can't remember the exact details, but then I guess Kurt's mother was, in no communication with Tom Grant after that point. Whatever was said. Yes, Rosie. She said, thanks, Amber. I really, really hope and pray she gets what she deserves. I do too, because she is a danger to society. This behavior has been going on with her since she was a child. She's been a violent person. So it's not good. All right. So that is it. Thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate you all being here. Until we meet again. KF said Courtney told Kurt's mom to shut up or her daughter would be next. Yeah, I would be very afraid of Courtney too, Brooklyn. Hi, Linda. Okay, well, again, once I go live again, I'll let you guys know. It'll probably be after 7 p.m., 7:30, because that's when she's going to bed now. So, yeah, that'll be when I go live. If I upload any other videos, that can happen any time of the day. It's just whenever I get the chance to edit or news comes in. So thank you so much, and I will talk to everybody soon, and take care.